Okay. So okay, as part of our last class, we are doing the validation, right? So for what we did the validation part like text box, a radio button, and drop down, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now the checkbox is pending, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you see the difference between radio button and checkbox, radio button you can able to select only one, correct? One or none.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas in case of checkbox you may select either one or more, or none, one or more, none or more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that is the only difference between radio button and checkbox. Okay, now let me go to our page. This is the one. So this is also almost equal to radio, radio button, but there is a slight difference. So why? Because here there is a multi selection is there, correct?
Yeah, in checkbox.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let me keep down. It's recording. Okay. So now first let me go back. Yeah, this is our checkbox I have included, correct? Input type equal to checkbox and value equal to some C++ Java something
Mm-hmm.
and name I had given as a skills, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now when you click on submit button, so what we are doing? We are doing the validation, correct? Okay, now go
Mm-hmm.
back to, so this checkbox is there below to gender, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I am going to add validation part for skills below gender. So this is the gender validation, and now I am going to do the validation part here where skills list equal to, just copy the same thing. So what is the name we had given here in this case? Skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Copy the same thing, input dot skills. So here we have a multi value, so it will give you a list basically. So in previous case, if you select val means radio button, it will give one or none.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas in this case, it will give you a list basically. So we have to check the list length, whether the list length is 0 or more than 0, correct? If 0
Okay.
means they have not selected anything, more than greater than 0 means they selected something, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
if greater than 0 means what we have to do, we have to iterate the list and we have to display the values.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the same thing what we are doing in plain JavaScript. So but here we are doing a little bit different. So now let me run this program. Just this. So now copy this one, put it here. So now I provided some name, some relation and some country. Okay. So name is displaying male and the skills it is displaying 0 and country
Mm-hmm.
US. So let me select one skill, whether we get some value or not. Still it's displaying country. Okay, now go back here, input, maybe we can,
So it says radio.
yes, we have to remove that one or else ignore it. It's either you can give a valid value or you can ignore it. Either you can give input colon checkbox, or you can remove that type. It is an optional basically.
Okay.
So in previous case also here you mentioned radio, right? So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
mention, you can keep radio, or else you can remove it. It doesn't matter. But you
Okay.
should not give the wrong value.
Mm-hmm.
So now go back here, refresh. Let me select some two value, submit. Gender, please select. So it's given 2, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I selected two values, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So let me select one more. Should give now 3, correct?
Mm.
Gender is not selected. Please select 3. Now the length is fine. Now we have to iterate the list, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in jQuery we have a different way to iterate the list. Like if we see Java and all, right? So we, oh, you know Java, right?
Well, little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. You can ignore. Okay. In Java and all, right, we have a redefined for loop. Means it's a well redefined for loop. Traditionally, we are using for I equal to 0, I less than length, I plus plus. Like that we are reading, right? In previous
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript also. For where I equal to 0, I less than list dot length,
Mm-hmm.
I plus plus, something like that, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we are declaring a variable, and there is lots of conditions. I equal to 0, I plus plus, I less than. So every loop, for every iteration, we are checking three conditions. So there is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of performance issue will come, correct? So whereas in case of if you use this jQuery, right, so jQuery having its own syntax, so we can able to iterate two ways. So one is like this, ACH, so index comma one value alert one val dot val function. So now let me test it whether it's working or not. Let's test, submit. So gender is not selected, something I went wrong. Skills dot each alert one val. Sorry, can keep here. Here we can use dollar symbol. So alert. Did you see any spelling mistake? This is correct, right?
Mm.
List. Okay. Now let me refresh. Skills. Something you can select. Submit. Gender is not I. What is this? There is no value. Directly we can read the value here. Think there is no object, right? Think no, it should work. Yes, yes, country. So let me display the alert index colon index plus value. first name, gender is not selected. So this is second way. Yes, it is coming. Now let me select Java name, mail, COS, submit it. So mail C Java, correct? Now it is coming, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this is the redefined for loop. So you can able to iterate the list in two ways. The best way is, so you have to use dollar. So dollar is for uh, it's a jQuery syntax, correct? Dollar
Hmm.
dot each means it's a for loop syntax. Each means you are trying to iterate. You have to give a input for this each. So this is the list, correct? So each is a keyword means it will do the for loop kind of thing, and this is the input. Okay, so you are trying to iterate this list, and to iterate that list we have to write a small function. So you can say this is an anonymous function. So if you see function open bracket close bracket, so inside this what I am trying to do, so every time, right, what it will do, it will try to get one element from this list. That is the one element called this means one
Hmm.
element. From that I am trying to get the one value. So how many selected checkbox values are there, that many times this loop will iterate, and every time I am trying to get the value. Okay,
Okay.
so now what I will do, I will declare one select skill. So I declared one empty array. Okay,
Hmm.
so what I will do, every time I will read the value, every time I will read the value, and I will include the value into the array. So this is an empty array, right? So every time I'm reading the value, I'm pushing the value into the list, empty list. After that, finally I am displaying the value. So now here I will display the list. See, now you understood, right? This is an empty array, and every time I am reading the one value and I am pushing the value into the list, and finally I am displaying the array
So
list.
all the values you select, they will be displayed in one
Correct. Yes, yes. I don't want to iterate again and again. Just I'm pushing the each value, and finally I am trying to display it. So why we need to
Okay.
convert this into array, So finally we are reading all the values, and finally we have to send these values to service, right? To save into
Hmm.
database. So when you are sending the values to service, we need to give, this is a list, right? Multi-select
Hmm.
value. So that's what I'm converting these values into a list. Got it right?
Okay. Hmm.
And rest of the values are like a single value, like f name is a variable, it's a single value, right? So this is the multi-select
Hmm.
value, so that's what I converted into a list. So now let
Okay.
me check whether it's the multi value is displaying or not. So I selected C++ something, gender is not selected, see it's displaying, right?
Hmm.
So now let me select,
Was there comma between C and Java?
yes, yes, it is an array, right? So it will give,
Okay. Okay.
did you see that?
Hmm.
So the way you are selecting, so that way it will give all the values. If you uncheck this Java, now it should give only first two values. It's very easy, right? Here the
Hmm.
number of lines is very less. If you see here, how many lines is there here?
Hmm.
But whereas in case of same thing, if you want to do in plain JavaScript, you have to do a lot more code, correct?
Mm-hmm. So here dollar dot each you are doing,
Correct, yes.
whereas earlier you were doing dollar bracket
That is also
always.
another way. So this is the one way, and the second way is, that is a little bit lengthy process. List means this one. List dot each. So inside the each, right, what you have to do, you have to write anonymous function list dot each. So here you have to write alert dollar this dot val, and if you want to retrieve the index and all, right, so here you can pass that index like numbering 0 1 2 3 some number. Then
Mm.
for now try to iterate it, think it should work. But you can follow any one approach. The simple approach is the first one. If you see this, now C++ it's displaying, right? Did you see that? If you
Mm-hmm.
comment out this all arrays, so now I am displaying the value from here, correct? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
displaying anywhere. Did you see this? So now it should
Mm-hmm.
display all the selected value one by one. So now let me select, refresh it. I am selecting everything. Submit it. So C selected, C++ selected, Java selected. So these
Mm-hmm.
values I am displaying by using second approach. Got it right? So this is second
Mm-hmm.
approach. The previous approach I am using here dollar and I am passing list here, correct? But whereas
Mm-hmm.
using second approach list dot each. So that is up to you. You can use any one. So I think you can able to get the value here also index comma one element. So if you want to get the index number, so you can use this one index. Index means it will give 0 1 2 3 like that. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
display some the UI side some serial number, so you can use this index. So that is different approaches is there. So that is up to you. You can use any one. So now let me try this one whether it's working or not. I selected only two elements, so it should give index as 0 and 1. 0, well, you see that value is coming. Notice it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here I
Mm-hmm.
need to give colon, then you can able to see the value.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that is,
here,
I'm selecting two values, first one and last one. Submit it, first name, last name. So index is 0 and value is C, correct?
mm-hmm.
And now index is 1 and value is Java.
Java.
So if you select this one also, then index is 0 1 2 3 0 1 2, it will give, and it will give all the values. So you can follow any one approach that is based on your requirement. 0 1 2 something. So this is the second approach. In second
Mm.
approach, if you want to receive the index, so you have to give index and one element. So index you can print directly from one element. You have to read the value.
What is I don't get it. What is one element? We didn't define it anywhere. What?
You define here, right? So what it will do, it's a for loop. So every time it is a list, right?
Hmm.
So every time it will take one element from the list, and the index
Hmm.
is first 0 element, and the corresponding element it will assign to this value.
Oh, true, true.
So now it is a simple, right? Say for instance, if you are getting a values from the JSON, meaning
Mm-hmm.
one colon. So here JSON, how we are iterating the JSON, right? For each. In Angular JS, how we are iterating the persons in person,
Hmm.
correct? What is the
Hmm.
person? So every time it will take a one person from persons and it will assign, right?
Yeah.
So this is also same thing. It is a one person and this is a persons.
Okay. Okay.
So you can able to iterate Angular, I mean this JSON also in the same way.
Hmm.
So you can write a JSON like this and give here bb colon. So this is a one of the one element. So like that you can iterate, right? Two more elements. See here. So this is you here d d d d d. So this is a JSON, right? So you can iterate the JSON, this JSON also by using the simple for loop. This is also list, right now. So we have to write, just we need to copy this lines here and you can able to iterate it. So this is a array, correct? This is not a
Hmm.
list. So we can paste it here. Same, if you know one thing, rest of the things you can able to do it yourself. So value dot here, value and index one value. So what you want to get from this? How many elements is there here? A, B, B. So here try to get A. So you understood, right, this one?
Hmm.
There is no change. So only here you need to give the list. Now if you try to hit right, I think it should display all the elements. Just this. There is some syntax error is there. J colon 1 colon 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 colon. Did you see any variable duplicate variable name? So val is a keyword in JavaScript, so we should not use this one, I guess.
But then you'll have to change in the function also.
Yes, yes. So these are the vals is a keyword, right? So I had to change it to some different way, and here should give vals. And now go back here. So I think
And there inside also alert in the alert.
so here it is fine. Here you can give your own value. It's not a, it's
Hmm.
only inside this function, right? It's a local variable, so you can give same name also, doesn't matter. So now try to submit it. Oh, still some error is there. So where one colon.
Hmm.
Right. Okay, we will see this one later. So for
Hmm.
time being, you can ignore. Anyway, we have one more example. So there is some syntax error is there. So but the process is same. We will see that one later.
Okay.
We have to give the list here, and you have to give here each, and you can write your own anonymous function, and here you can pass any value. If you give x also here, you can give here x. If you give here y, so here you have to give y. That's all.
Oh, I thought index is a keyword. So
No, no,
index means
it's not a
zero, one, 2,
keyword.
3.
No, it's not a keyword. That is, you can give as per your wish. So it should
So
work.
function first argument is always 0, 1, 2, 3.
Correct. So it should give. So index is 0 and value is select. So that you can give anywhere. That is the syntax basically. If you know this
So
small
only after each, or any time we use function, any function.
any function meaning,
Any function x would mean x is the index,
correct. X
or
is index
each
always.
function, or if we use function x with each, like right now we are using, in that case x is an index.
So function is anonymous function. We have to write a function to iterate this one. And first
Hmm.
variable whatever you are writing, it is an index. Second variable is an object. You are taking
Okay.
from the list, one object.
Okay. Okay.
And from that you have to get the corresponding value.
Okay. One more thing. So right now you're using skills list dot each function.
Yes.
So right now you are not using dollar. But when do you use dollar? When do you not use dollar? And
So these are
second
two ways.
question.
These are two approaches. You can use any one. So
Okay.
here also you can pass index comma x comma y. You will get the values. So here also
Okay.
x comma y. So here you can give y. So you will get value. There is no difference. See now, if you want to display this list, you have to add one alert message. Correct? Alert. So now it will display all the values here, and it will display here one by one. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now here, go back here and select everything, and let me load it. See, it's displaying as part of the first for loop. It is displaying all the values. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And as part of the second loop, it is displaying one by one. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So everywhere same. So here also you can do XYZ, can read it. So now we understood, right?
Yeah, but what I'm asking is dollar. When do we use dollar?
So if you
Like,
want to, so say for instance, if you use dollar here, you have to pass list here, list comma function. Whereas if you pass list here, directly here function you have to pass. There is no only one element inside the list. So here list is there, and here list is there.
yeah, that's right. But even in second function, skills list dot each function,
Mm-hmm.
you have alert. Inside alert, if you see, you have dollar $y.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there you are using dollar with $y argument that is being passed in the function. Before that you are using dollar just before each, dollar dot each. So
Okay.
when do we use dollar? How do we use dollar, and when?
So this is basically two approaches. You can use any one. It's not a problem. Two different approaches. Either you can use this one or this one. You will get all the values. It will not give any problem for you. It's a two approaches basically.
Hmm.
Did you see any difference while getting the value? No, right?
No, no, no. No difference. But I'm just getting confused in this. I cannot show you. Wait, if can I get
Yeah, here
control?
guys, these are two different approaches. You can use any one, I'm telling. So one is by using dollar,
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I understood. I understood the approaches. I understood both the approaches.
mm,
My question, I'm not able to explain you. Can you give me control so I can show you where I'm actually? Okay, no, line number. Okay, I didn't see the line number. Okay, I'll show you.
30
So
or
see line
24.
line number 31.
Mm-hmm.
Here you are using dollar bracket Y.
Line number 31. Yeah, okay.
Yes, right. Now, just before that, line number 24.
Okay.
You're using dollar dot each. So each is, I think, a built-in function which you are
Yes, yes,
like for
is
loop,
a
for
built-in
loop.
function. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Before that, line number 12, you are using
But,
dollar
uh,
hash sign f name.
mm,
So when do we use dollar? What say line number 31, we are using dollar just in front of y.
correct, yeah.
So what if we don't use dollar and just use y? What will happen?
You don't want to use dollar directly, you want to call each function.
No, no, y in 31 line.
So why here?
Yeah,
So
after
if you
that
whether
31.
right, so here if you don't want to use XYZ, remove it. Then what you have to do
No, no,
here?
no, no. Keep xy. I'm saying in
Uh-huh.
line number 31.
Uh-huh.
Next line. Next line.
Oh, here, yeah.
Here we are using dollar. Why? Why are we using dollar over there?
So dollar we have to use this one. Why? Because you are trying to call one of the inbuilt function. Val is a inbuilt function.
Mm-hmm.
Document.get element by the dot value. Correct? You are using previously.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you are trying to call inbuilt function, so we need to understand this framework. Need to understand this is a jQuery inbuilt function. It's not written by
Okay.
user. It's a jQuery inbuilt function.
Okay.
So if it is a your own function, then you can call directly like this.
Okay.
So this is your own function now.
Mm-hmm.
So it will expect somewhere we have to write val function here.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas if you call like this dollar means, then jQuery will understand this is a library function. Then it will look inside the this file.
Li library. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Just to understand whether it's a library function or a user defined function.
Okay. Okay.
A
So
dollar
okay,
means, yeah.
in line number 24,
Uh-huh.
we have dollar each and then skills list comma function. So
Yes.
there we are using dollar because of dot each, or we are using dollar because of function xy, or both.
In line number 24, you are using XYZ.
Yes. No, no. In line number 24,
Mm-hmm.
we are using dollar dot each,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then skills list function xy. So
Okay.
if we don't use function xy, still
Okay.
we will have to use dollar because dot each is a jQuery thing, right?
Yes, if you don't, meaning here you don't want to use XYZ and still you want to get the value. That's what you are asking, how to get.
No, 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 no. I'm just asking about dollar. So you explained dollar $y dot val because dot val is a jQuery function. That
Correct.
is why we are using
Yes, yes,
dollar.
dollar. Yes.
Before that, just one line before that, 24,
Mm-hmm.
we are using dollar again. Now
Okay.
here we are using dollar
Uh-huh.
because we are using dot each, which is a jQuery keyword,
Correct.
or because of the function xy that we are using over
No,
here.
no, no. It's a jQuery function. Say for instance, if you remove it, so what will happen? It will expect this function should be there in somewhere in this index.html.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Okay.
it is considering its inbuilt function.
Okay. All right.
So inbuilt function means if it is not there, then it will say function is not found. Syntax error it will give.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it is now if dollar means it's inbuilt function. It's not an inbuilt function. It will look inside this JS file.
Okay.
So otherwise you have to write your own function.
Okay.
So that is the purpose of dollar syntax here. So you got it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't want this index and all, then you can remove it. So then you can use only here this. So this is also same.
Okay.
So you will get here only value. Here you will not get any index.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean both are same. It's the two different approaches. So this is up to you. So if you don't want to index, so unnecessary to write the code, write index comma one value. So this is the
Mm-hmm.
simplest approach. So if you want to get the index value, so you have to follow this approach. So just I had given two approaches for you, so that is up to you which one you follow, which one you are going to use.
Okay. Okay. So this value, this
Mm-hmm.
line number 25,
Mm-hmm.
this means
One object from the list.
one object from the list.
Like in see in aggregates persons, person in persons. What is person
Hmm.
here?
Person in persons.
Yes, jQuery we are writing, right? What is that syntax we are doing?
Ng repeat.
Ng repeat. Ng hyphen repeat equal to person in persons. So
Hmm.
here what is person?
That is one object,
Yes,
one value in persons.
one value. Correct? Here also same. This means one element or one object from the skill list. C is a one
Okay.
object. C++ is another object.
Okay. Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So now this is fine, right? How we are doing the validation. So this is
Yeah.
basically a manual process, correct?
Hmm.
So manually we
Okay.
are.
One more thing.
Hmm.
One more thing.
Mhm.
Here, after gender,
Mhm.
like in JavaScript, we were writing return.
Yes.
Here, what do we do?
So here also you can do the return. If you don't want to do all the validation one by one, so you can return the control back. Just for
Can
our
you do
testing
that?
purpose, I'm trying to do all the values. If you don't want to do the validation, just return it back. Then it will not validate rest of the code.
Can you do that for gender?
So just add one return, no? That's all. So where is this? Say for instance, so here please select this. So here you need to add the return function. So then it will not execute the rest of the code. It will return the control
That's
back.
okay. That's it. Okay.
That's it, yeah. So nothing. There is no JavaScript means everywhere same rules.
Okay.
So here if gender is not selected, then if you don't want to execute rest of the code, then just return it back.
Okay.
Otherwise it will execute all the values whether you are providing the value or not.
Hmm.
So that is up to you how you want to do the validation. You want to do field by field or you want to display all the values validation together.
Okay.
Okay, this is the manual process how we are doing the validation. Okay, now yesterday I told you, right? So there is another approach. So there is another approach to do the validation by using built-in framework. So that
Hmm.
I have already written one example. So because it will take more time to compose this HTML code, so it's very
Hmm.
easy to understand. So if you see here, right, so this you can able to understand, right? It's a table, input type equal to text, first name, last name, email, password, and one submit button.
Hmm.
So this is a HTML, you know very well, right?
Hmm.
So input type equal to text here, input type equal to text here. So for email, what I mentioned here, input type equal to email. I didn't mention here text.
Okay.
So input type equal to password, you know this one very well, correct?
Input type password. What does that mean?
So long back we have discussed it, right? When we are typing password, we should not display, we have to display dot 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 or star, correct?
Okay. Okay. So with password, it will display dot dot dot.
Encrypted value, yes.
Okay. Okay. And email also we've not done. Type email will
Email is just,
do.
it's one of the same like a text.
Okay. Okay. But it does it check for at the rate or something?
Yes, yes, it will validate it.
Okay. Okay.
If you mention plain text, so then you have to explicitly use this is a email, or else if you say email means it will validate at the rate of dot all those things.
Okay. Java. Sorry. HTML will validate, or we have to write validation.
We have to here you no need to write validation. There is a inbuilt functions is there. So for that
Okay.
inbuilt function, you have to tell this is a email field. The type is email.
Okay.
So this type is password. This type is text.
Okay.
Okay, this is a plain HTML. This is clear, right?
Yeah.
So on click of submit button, so there is a submit button. What we have to do? So we have to do the validation, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in generally how we are doing validation, previous case we are reading field, each field by field, and we are trying to do validate it, and we are displaying the messages, correct?
Yeah.
Now I don't want to do the traditional or old way to read the values and displaying the alert messages. This JS file you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you see, there is another JS file I have imported, jquery.validate.min.js. So what is the
Oh,
purpose of this second JS file, you know? So this is a jQuery validation framework.
okay, okay,
So this is also you have to download from this website.
okay, okay,
What is that? jQuery, yes, jQueryvalidation.org. So from this URL, so you can able to download it. So here if you click on download, right? No, you can, yes, you can download from here, or you can download from here directly. So this is a min file, jQueryvalidate.min.js.
okay,
So you can download this JS file and you can keep here. So this is the second
okay,
library. Okay, so this is only for if at all if you want to do validation, then only you can download it, otherwise it is not required.
okay. And
So
this website from where you are downloading,
uh-huh.
is it an official website of
It's the official
jQuery
website,
or?
it's an official, it's a jQuery website. It's
Okay,
the
okay,
official one. So they're maintaining two websites, one is for validation and another one is for just data process purpose.
okay, okay,
So you can download from their official website only.
okay.
Okay, this is clear, right? These two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, after that on click of your submit button, so I have written my own validation. So here
Okay,
I'm not doing anything, so just let me open this file. Yes, so this is a my validation, so I have written my own validation here. So on click of submit button, first we need to check document is ready or not, correct?
mm-hmm.
So I'm doing document check, document um, ready or not. After that, what I'm trying to do, so this is a jQuery standard syntax. Dollar form name equal to and validate. This is a validate is inbuilt function. So which
Okay,
form you want to validate? Form name equal to. So what is our form name here?
okay. Registration.
Yes, that's all. Form name equal to registration. You can give here XYZ and you can give here
Mm-hmm.
XYZ. And we need to call
Mm-hmm.
the inbuilt function. Meaning I want to validate this form.
Okay,
Okay, there is the validate function. For this validate function, you have to pass one JSON object. This JSON object is a validation rules. So this
okay.
validation rules, so how you want to validate, on what basis you want to validate, which field you want to validate. Say for instance you have 10 fields. If you want to validate only 5 fields, rest of the 5 fields you don't want to validate it. So you can able to
Mm-hmm.
mention everything here. So this object or JSON is having 3 parts. The first part is rules and the second part is what messages you want to display.
Okay,
And the final part is when you are doing submit button. Once all the validation is success, which service you want to call? You need to send, we need to call some service, right? If validation is success, then only we have to call service, right?
okay.
So
So
here,
service to take the data and put it in the
correct, yes.
database maybe.
So here you can call the service. So this
Okay.
function will be called, this line will be executed only if the validation is success.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the third part. So 3 parts. First part is which fields you want to validate, and second part is messages. What messages you want to display? If everything is success, which service you want to call?
Okay.
Okay.
Where you have written service in submit handler, can you
Okay.
write to call the service so that I will,
Yeah,
otherwise
that
I'll
is the
forget.
second. That is the second part. Service means how you are going to call a web service.
Yeah, 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 I mean, I will forget what it means. So
So service.
you have
Okay.
written service, just write to call the service.
Okay. Your as per
Service
your understanding.
invocation, yeah, that is also fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
So here you have to call the REST web service. So that is we
Okay.
will see another what to say, another example how to call the web service.
Okay.
And you can send all the values. You know how to get the values, right? How to read the values. You know very well, correct? So
Which
that
values?
form values, like how you want to read the first name dot value, correct? Val.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, we can read all the fields one by one, and you can pass that values to this web service.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now we will. This is clear, right? The submit function.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now we will see the first part and second part in detail.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see the first part, right? So here it's a rules basically. Rules is an object. Inside that you have to write the rules. What is the rules means? If you see the first field, what is the first field name? First name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you consider this first name is a mandatory or optional? So you have to mention here.
Okay.
First name colon required. Required means it's a mandatory field.
Okay. Okay.
So if user is not providing the value for first name, what message you want to display? Please enter
Okay.
your first name. Same.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you want last name is a mandatory, you have to say required. Otherwise, you can remove it. Then it is
Mm-hmm.
an
Mm-hmm.
optional field.
Okay.
And which message you want to display for last name. Okay, this is clear, right? First name, last name.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the second field? Email. What you are given here? Email. So whatever
Yeah.
name you are giving, same name you have to give here. Email colon. So required equal to true, meaning it's a
Okay.
mandatory field.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a type of, what is the type? Email, right?
Mm-hmm.
So email means it's having its own validation. At the rate of is required, dot is required. So that's what explicitly we are telling. It is a email field.
Okay.
It's not ordinary text. It's email.
Okay.
Then, so if you see right here for password, right? So okay, sorry. First we will finish email. So email means it. So jQuery having its own validation part for email.
Hmm.
So it will validate it and it will give the results. So it will say please enter a valid email address.
Okay.
So now come back. This email is clear, right?
Yeah.
So now come back to the password. So password required mean true, meaning it's a mandatory field.
Hmm.
So here I want password minimum 5 character.
Okay.
So if you give less than 5, what message I want to display? See here. Your password must be at least 5 character long. So you can write the message whatever you want here.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
key and corresponding values here. So this is a simple, right? So instead of writing, so if you want to do the same thing by using simple JavaScript, you have to write so many number of lines, correct?
Mm-hmm. Okay. A couple, two questions.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
is, no, go back.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. But one is in the rules you have email as second part after first name, last name, email, and then password.
Hmm.
In messages, you have first password and then
Order
email. So
is
that
not
is
matter.
fine.
Order is not matter. Key is important.
Okay. Okay, sure. And then second question is, if suppose last name you also want, like you have in email,
Hmm.
email first required is true, then email, then second is type.
Hmm.
Email type is equal to true.
Correct, yeah.
So same way, if in last name, if you want last name is equal to required,
Hmm.
then second, if you want type equal to character,
Correct
I
means.
mean not number, not number.
Hmm.
So that if you want to
Yeah, it
type,
is
if
there. It
I'm
is
if
there. If you read this document, right, you can use the regular, what do you say, that some regular expressions also. Just if you see this documentation, right, so there is so many different types of validations are available.
hmm
So just we need to read this validate. So rules can here add here rules. If you read it here, so they will give all the rules how you want to validate it. So you want to validate special characters. So for that we need to write little bit what is say that uh, what is that called, regular expression. So there is a regular expression also, you can able to add it.
Okay.
So based on your regular expression, so meaning you want to accept only capital letters, you want to accept only lower cases, that is simple regular expressions. So if you see here,
Okay.
you will get all the regular expressions. So you can do the validation like that also. So just
Okay.
to make it, this is the basic framework. So if you want to add any
Mm-hmm.
special validations, you have to write here regular expressions. How, what kind of data you want to take. You want to take only A to capital A to capital V or small a to small z. So that is a regular
Mm-hmm.
expression. So you can able to add it. So this is just basic
Okay.
validation. So this is
Okay.
clear, right? This, whatever this example.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here there is one more point. So far here we are reading only plain text fields, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any radio button drop down checkbox?
No.
So that is
No.
a second example we will see. So this is clear, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let
Yes.
me run it whether it's working or not. So why? Because if I start typing this one, it will take one class, correct?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
easy to understand. So that's what I
Mm.
already typed and I'm showing you. So it's very easy. Why? Because now you know JavaScript, jQuery, right? So you can able to understand. It's very easily.
Mm.
It's unnecessary waste of simply typing. So just to type these messages only, it will take time. Please enter first name, please enter last name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now this is a plain HTML, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now whenever I'm click on the submit button, so I want to do the validation part. Now copy it, go here, this is our, so now just click submit. So what is saying, please enter first name, last name, email. So now I will enter first name, F. So the error message is gone, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So email is, see, it is saying please enter valid email. Why? Because why it is telling at the rate of is not required.
Mm-hmm.
But still it is saying, why? Because dot is not there.
Mm-hmm.
See now. So what is saying?
5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
It is correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now once you submit it, now it will call the service method, meaning the last method. Now it will execute this line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you can add one alert here and you can able see that the form submitted successfully, something like that. Think it should reach here. So did you see the alert message now? Success? No, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do the same thing by using JavaScript, we have to do a lot of circus.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there you have to write your JavaScript function. So it is see all the values we can able to, it is sending to server. See last name, email. So these values will go to the server basically. So first name, name, blah blah blah.
But here do you see in URL the password is visible?
Yeah, that you have to use the functions. So there is a function get or post, something is there. So here you can use here. If you don't want to visible, method equal to post, then it will not display anything to the user. So that's a matter of, so now we have to remove all those things. So this is a basically get post and all. So basically when you are doing servlets and JSP, right? So this is interaction to server to data, right? So there I used to tell all those things. What is get post?
Okay.
Now did you see
Okay.
anything here?
Okay. Okay.
So just to add one secure feature. Now you are not seeing
Okay.
anything, right?
Okay. Okay. So where is it storing it now?
It will go
Earlier it was.
backend side. So user not able to see the data. So every request is having request header. So if you see here, right? So data is going backend side as part of form body. So whatever you are seeing is a header, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In previous case the data went through header, and whereas in case of second case the data went through body. Body means behind the screen, you are not able to see it.
Okay, okay.
So that is up to you. So how you want to send the data. This is clear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the second one is just to validate the radio button and checkbox. So that is also almost similar, and it's very easy compared to the so radio button and radio button validation and checkbox drop down validation is very easy compared to normal validation. So if you see here, right, so this is the second way of validation, meaning the radio button, a drop down. In drop down, maybe I added here one more feature like multi select drop down. So as long as in previous we saw some of the examples which you can able to select only one value, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now I added one more example just for your safe, multi select drop down. So how you are going to validate multi select drop down? It's very easy compared to normal fields validation. So this is clear, right? The text field validation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now first let me show you the UI, then you will understand. Let me run on server. Steps, remove the previous application, finish it. So let me copy it. So this is plain text fields. Now we are going to see how, see here there is a radio button is there, correct? There is some
Mm-hmm.
checkboxes is there, and here if you see, what is this? This validation is killing me.
Why are you getting all these things? Is it because of jQuery?
No, this
Something.
there is some problem with my browser. Some
Okay, okay.
what it says whenever you're browsing, right, if I say accept, right, so they will add one plugin to my browser, then they will display their ads. If I
Mm-hmm.
will buy this product, right,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever the plugin, wherever from where the plugin got added, they will get some money due
Okay,
to
okay.
this digital advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they are doing, all this virus kind of thing. Okay, now if you see here, this is a radio button, this is a checkbox, and this is a single select, right? I can able to select only one value.
Mm-hmm.
So if you here, I can able to select multi, 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 correct? So this is
Mm-hmm.
the different type of drop down. So this is very easy to validation. It's very easy to validate. So now refresh. It's very easy to validate it compared to the text box. So now whenever I'm clicking the button, this is mandatory. First let me submit it here. So here it's displaying, please select a phone, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Please select at least two fruits. I
Mm-hmm.
selected one, selected second one, it's gone, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now it is saying please select a phone. Now I am going to select BlackBerry, it gone. So
Mm-hmm.
now see here, please select, no more select more than two vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gone. Now please select at least two cars. Selected Polo and Merc, gone.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just UI side. Now let me validate this radio and check types. Now submit it. So it is displaying. Please select required. Now I am going to select single. It's gone. Now we need to accept the terms and conditions. When you are submitting the form, right? So they will display
Mm-hmm.
one pop-up, and you need to read that one, and you need to accept the terms and conditions, correct? But that is a
Mm-hmm.
mandatory. So I read that one. Now now they will send some of their emails. How you want to send email, phone, or mail, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Communication channels basically. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is you understood, right? So it's not in India. If you see some other countries, right? If they will say user will say, if user will accept to receive the emails, then only you have to send the email. If you send email unnecessarily, they will file a case.
Mm-hmm.
Same, you should not call like in India. Every day we will get a call. Please take an insurance. Please take a prepaid mobile, something like that. If you get a call in US, other countries, right? So they can file a case against to that phone or anywhere. See
Mm-hmm.
here, it's a more than one validation part.
Mm-hmm.
So here I had given another example. Here it's a one checkbox, it's a mandatory. So here you need to select minimum 2. See here the field is
Hmm.
required. If I select 1, so what is saying?
2.
So select 2, then it will go, and this is a single value and this is a single value. So this UI you understood, right?
Yeah.
The validation is very simple. Here there is no code at all, so this is not required. Okay, now so this is jQuery, and this is a validation framework.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
here the validation part I am not doing. Here this file just I copy pasted from previous example. So first name last name, so this I can remove it, it is not required. See only HTML and 2 framework.
Okay.
Now if you see here, right, so here I'm displaying input type equal to radio ID and value. So
Hmm.
just to I'm displaying here radio buttons, correct?
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So in previous case the messages we are getting from JS file, correct?
Yeah.
Validation messages. But whereas in case so this is the second approach. Basically I'm displaying the message as part of a label. So here label some CSS class and please select your family. So by default the message is there, but whenever first time when we are loading this form, this message will be disabled, meaning hidden.
Okay.
First
How
time
is it hidden?
how it is hidden, if you see there is a CSS class I have written label dot error display colon none. So
Okay.
this is a label, right?
Okay.
The
Okay.
class name is error. So what I'm doing when first time we are loading the message, I'm making hide this one, so it will not
Okay.
display.
Okay.
So whenever I'm clicking the button, then I will validate it. Then I will display I will enable this error message.
Okay.
So that's what I'm not doing any validation JS file here. I removed it,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So whenever I'm clicking it, so then I will enable it. Then this message will be displayed to the user. So you can write whatever message you want it here. And
Hmm.
this is
Hmm.
the CSS class to disable the messages.
Okay.
And one more thing, if you see the error messages are on red color, right?
Hmm.
So if you don't like red color, so you can give the color whatever you want here.
Okay.
This is form dot errors. All the form errors I want to display in this color. So if you don't like this one, you can give blue also. It will display in blue color.
Okay.
So now go back here and just refresh here to display blue color.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is clear, right? How the message is coming and how the color is changing, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
This is very easy compared to the previous one. So here we need to tell, if you are writing any radio button, we need to tell here required. Required meaning it's a mandatory. In previous case also we are writing this required in JS file, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But whereas in this case I'm writing as part of input field only required.
Okay. But
Required means
okay. So
yeah.
so this is done by HTML then. There is
Yes,
no
yes.
JavaScript.
There is no JavaScript. But indirectly, so if you say here required, who will use this one? This Angular framework will read each field. If you mention required, then it will validate it. You got it right? Just you are
Angular
saying
framework
Angular
or
framework,
J?
yes. Sorry, jQuery framework. You are
Okay.
importing
So
the,
so
yeah.
so whenever you write required, it that will invoke some jQuery.
Yes, yes. If you say whenever you are doing submit button here, we have a button, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you are clicking the submit button, what will happen? What I am doing here. So here this is the ready function, right?
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So I am validating this form. There is a two submit buttons, meaning two forms. So for two forms, I am doing validation.
Okay.
So if we are not passing, in previous case, in as part of validate method, so we are passing object, right? Like this.
Yeah, yeah.
So here I am not passing anything, meaning the default rules I am using.
Okay.
So if you want to pass your own web messages rules, then you have to pass your object. If you are not passing anything, means so existing inbuilt features, in inbuilt validations rules you are using.
Okay.
That's all. Here are two forms. Initially I told, right, in one document you can able to write n number of forms, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, this is one body and this is one form here, and this is second form. Select a test.
Mm-hmm.
Two forms, two submit buttons. That's what I am doing. Two validations. Two times I'm validating. So for these two, let's suppose whether you are submitting this one or this one, once this form is success, if you want to call the service, so I had given here one alert messages. If all the validation is success, then you will see submitted. So let me test that one also. Let me select this one and this one. So now all validation is success, right, for this form, correct? See, now it's getting submitted.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go and come down here, it's killing me. So here, did you see any submitted alert message?
Mm-hmm.
So now the first you have to fix the errors. To select the two values, right, we have to press control. Code I like submit it. So your form is submitted. It's very easy, right?
Okay, but this spam, the first form spam, so you select first, it asks you select, yeah. Can we go to the spam section?
Hmm.
How is that validation happening?
Which is spam?
Spam. So yeah, this spam.
Oh,
Then
this one you are
first
telling?
form, no,
This
no,
is clear.
first form,
First we will finish
yeah,
first form. This is clear.
yeah. So the first one spam,
Oh, oh, you want to see
yeah,
this field? Okay, okay.
yeah.
Spam means it's kind of communication channel. So here input type equal to checkbox. So it's a mandatory, required, correct? Checkbox is
Uh-huh.
first validation is required. Required meaning mandatory. And how many checkbox we need to select? Min length equal to 2. That's all.
Min length. Okay. So you say required. So that means you have to select at least once. One.
Mm,
Then you say min. Then it says select two.
yes.
That comes from min length equal to two.
Yes, min length equal to 2. The same thing in previous case you mentioned in a JS file, correct? In case of password, 5 character.
Uh-huh.
So here you are mentioning in HTML site.
Okay. And jQuery
We'll read these
min.
attributes.
Okay. And so that is from where we get so at least two characters.
Yes, correct. Similar way here also.
Because here your message is please select at least two types of spam, the last line.
Correct, yes.
But there in the form, when you select one, it says select two characters.
Two character.
Yeah, can you, if you go back to your,
Mhm.
yeah. Now if you select just, yeah, see it says please enter at least two characters.
Mhm.
So where is this message coming
So
from?
this message I think it is coming from the default framework.
Default framework of jQuery?
Yes, default framework of jQuery. So if this message is not coming, then if you see this validation.js, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there you can able to see this message.
Okay.
If you want, you can reuse it. If you don't like, you can. So go here and validate it, right? So maybe if you type here, so maybe they removed or encrypted all those things.
Hmm.
So you can't read it. So because they remove all the spaces.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do sets here, so that's what here we should not use min. So in case of development we have to use jQuery dot validate dot js. There we
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
this search functionality at all, because just to make it less weight, so they will remove all these spades lines and all.
Mm-hmm.
So there you can, so they will use regular expressions basically. For space also they will not give space, they will give slash s.
Mm-hmm.
So it will give one space, so they can say one space. So they will give like this to go to the next line. To give the space they will not use say space, they will use slash s. So if even if I do such, so I will not get that word exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the validation part.
Okay.
Same. So min length required, just you have to mention here as part of your HTML tag. So max length to min length to multiple. So previously we have a select, right? So in case of select, if you are not mentioning anything, you can able to select only one. So if you mention multiple equal to multiple, then you can able to select multi-value.
Okay,
How
okay.
many values you need to select, that you have to mention here max length equal to 2. And if you say if it is a mandatory, then say required. And if they are not selecting any value, what message you want to display? Title. Please select no more than 2 vegetables, something like that.
Okay, so then required means it is mandatory, max length equal to 2 means you have to select 2, and multiple equal to multiple. Now
Multiple.
multiple,
Hmm.
so that you can select multiple values, right?
Yes,
But
more than one.
that's not jQuery then.
It's a jQuery. Who is doing this validation part and all? So jQuery also we can do the same thing by using .js file, correct? So there
Yeah,
also
but
we are mentioning same thing, correct?
max length is from validation, and multiple is just for you to be able to select multiple
Yes,
values.
yes, yes, correct.
So multiple has is not part of validation
No,
then.
it's a plain HTML. These all things are HTML. So we are giving additional values. So to display the error messages, enable, disable, all those things we are using jQuery. So when we need to display the error message, who knows that validation is done? So whenever you are selecting the values, the error message is automatically it's going out, right?
Yes.
So who will do that thing? So that thing and all jQuery is taking care, correct?
Okay, so if we want just if we don't want any validation, we're not using any jQuery, suppose,
Mm-hmm.
then we want to be able to select uh,
Then you have to write.
multiple values.
Then we have to write here on change event, on change. So we have to write here on change. We have to write separate function, and we need to enable, disable the error messages, correct? So
No,
once you
no, I'm saying no error. We are not doing any validation, suppose.
so
But what we want is from this list, we want to be able to select multiple values. Like in your form, right?
mm-hmm.
You are selecting multiple values.
Okay. So
So, if you want to write just the form to
mm-hmm.
be able to select multiple value
Yes, yes, you
without
can.
any validation.
Yes, you can select.
So then also you will give multiple equal to multiple,
Yes, you
right?
have to give. Yes, you have to give. Otherwise, you can able select only one.
Yeah, but there is no jQuery. We don't even have the min.js file.
It is not required. It is not required. This is a HTML tag. It's not a jQuery tag.
Oh, these both are HTML tags?
All these are HTML tags.
Okay, okay, okay.
All these are HTML tags. So here, where the jQuery is playing exactly, So say for instance, I will tell you. So why we need a jQuery here? What is the role of jQuery here is? So now, on click of submit, the messages are displaying, correct?
This message is coming from where?
This message is coming from whatever you are writing here.
Okay, from HTML.
Yes, even if you are not providing also, jQuery will give default messages.
Okay.
jQuery will give default messages based on your validation rules. If you say
Mm-hmm.
here, so these are the validation rules, right? Required equal
Mm-hmm.
required, these are the validation rules, correct? These two are validation rules. Say for instance, if you are not provided any title here, so then jQuery will give default validations. Please select field, something like that. So it will not give like
Okay.
vegetable, please select vegetable. So it will say please select field. Please select two
Mm-hmm.
fields. So these are
Mm-hmm.
the default validations rules, messages. But that
Okay.
does not give more sense, right? See here you
Mm-hmm.
are getting please select vegetable. If you are not mentioning these validation messages, then it will say please select field, please select field, please select field.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't give more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now where the jQuery will play to the rule row. So now here I need to select 2. So now the error message is gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who will do that thing? jQuery will do all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we have to write a function called here on click or on change for this drop down. Then we have to remove the message explicitly. Correct?
Okay, that will be the
JavaScript.
pure JavaScript.
But here we are saving a lot of code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not doing, if you don't have any validation framework, we need to select, we need to write on change, then we have to remove the error message explicitly. Otherwise, it will be lying always.
But see, if you refresh the, can you refresh the browser, please?
Hmm.
So this part, if can you remove this error bottom error message thing? Yeah.
It's not going. Hmm.
Okay. No, this part is coming from HTML. Now, when you click on submit button, there should be a on click event.
It is there, right? On click event. So you are writing here. I showed you, right? It's under ready function. What is this? I'm calling a validate function of this form.
So this means this is jQuery.
This is a jQuery, yes. jQuery will do all those validations. You no need to write on click here. So just you need to mention form name and validate. Which form you want to
So
validate.
so it automatically knows whenever you press the submit button
Yes.
that event calls the respective
Correct.
validate function.
For one form, how many buttons you will keep?
One.
One only, right? You will not keep
Mm-hmm.
multiple submit buttons for one form, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One form, how many times you will submit generally? Say for instance, you are applying for one Vodafone request. So how many times you will submit one form? One time
Only
only, right?
one.
If they
Mm-hmm.
rejected, then again you need to submit a new form, right?
Yeah.
The similar way, even if you are writing n number of forms also, so there is a n unique submit buttons, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For each form. Form name is unique, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And validate it. So corresponding method will be called. So this is the beauty of jQuery.
So no on click
No,
nothing. We
it's
don't
not
have to write
required.
anything. We
It's
just we just
unnecessary, right?
write.
We are saving a lot of code, right? Why you need on click?
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can write.
okay. Every button is a validate function then.
Yes, yes. It's not every button, only submit button.
Submit button. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you can write other button also, but it is not a normal button. It's a submit type button. That is based on type. So button
Got it.
also there
Got it.
is two
Okay.
types, submit and button.
Oh, all right. All right. So submit
Correct.
button. Submit
See,
button is
button also is there.
okay. Okay.
For button, it will not submit. You have to call explicitly.
Okay.
Submit means
Then we.
you decided finally and you are submitting the form.
Okay.
Button,
Then it calls the validate.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
This is clear.
That
This
means
is,
when we
hmm?
yeah, that means when we click on the submit button, then we get messages.
Hmm.
Those messages ideally should be coming from jQuery, but it is pulling from your HTML.
jQuery messages are not that much clear. It will say please select field always.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is not give more sense to the user, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what we are writing. If you write your own messages, then you can able to see like please select vegetable, please select fruit, please select phone, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it will say please select field, please select field, please select field.
Mm-hmm.
For all the
Okay.
fields, same message.
Yeah.
So default message it will try to give.
Okay.
This is clear, right? This is very easy, right? Compared to the previous one. So that is
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
you how what approach you want to follow. You want to follow from HTML or JS file, that you can do as per your wish.
Okay, okay.
Like that you can able to do more validation. If there is so many rules are available, just you can read these rules, then you can able to understand very easily.
Okay.
We will explain each step by step. So if you want to pass dynamically some values, you can able to pass the value. Say for instance, user provided some value input as part of the input first name. He provided some bad words. Okay.
Hmm.
Then if you want to say please remove this word. So whatever user is typing, so that if you want to take, you can able to take it. So it's correct. You understand,
Okay.
right? What I'm telling.
Okay. Okay.
So there is, if you see, right, some of the website, right, if you, let's suppose, say for instance, you apply for Vodafone some credit card application.
Mm-hmm.
So for credit card, you had to give your first name, last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you give as part of your first name, last name, if you give some bad words,
Mm-hmm.
so it will not take, it will reject the application,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they
Okay.
have their own validation. So as part of the first
Okay.
name, if you give some bad words,
Mm-hmm.
see, did you see? I'm typing one word, it's not listing that. It will skip all those bad words. Even Google also will not entertain that words.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of things if you want to mention here, as for the first name, if he is trying to enter some bad word, if you want to display please remove this word, that also you
Okay.
can able to do. So runtime you can able to pick the values. So that also it's
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
So this is an example, like 0 means to display here dynamically some value here. Please select at least 7 characters, something like that. Here it will display please select at least 2 characters. So here it is saying 2. So it will display here 2.
Mm.
So there is so much many useful functions are available, so you can read it. There are so many functions are available.
Okay.
They given some methods and corresponding some useful examples. There's so many useful examples also. You can just read this one, you will get more.
Mm-hmm.
So you understood, right, this validation part? It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
easy compared to normal JavaScript. So here you no need to remember functions, methods.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, everything jQuery will take care.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So these files I think I have not uploaded. So I will upload today and you can just have a look.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So this is fine, right? You have any questions?
No, I'll go
Yeah, you
through
can
this
have
thing.
a
I'll.
look and it's very easy to understand. So that's
Okay.
what I finished all this validation in one day. If I start typing, right, so it will take for me 2 days to type this HTML file.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Right?
true.
So it's so much HTML junk code is there. So I need to type.
Mm.
It will take for me to type 1 hour at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just only to type. After that, I'm not
Yeah.
able to explain anything to you. So that's what I
Mm-hmm.
typed everything. Then I explained so that we can able to save a lot of time. I have given more examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what
Yeah.
I stopped typing this HTML code. Okay, just have a look and we will see tomorrow some web service call.
Okay.
So
Sure.
how to call web service and how to get the data and how to display in the our UI side. Same like AngularJS, right?
Yeah. Okay.
We are calling a web service call and we are getting the data and we are displaying, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
So here also we will do that kind of example. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.